Hi and welcome to the first video from Purgatory. We thought it would be a good idea to start introducing some of the characters and some of the cohorts that feature part of our game that comes out in October, just 2 months away. Today we'll start with the Soul Train, which makes sense as they're the faction that you get in the starter box. To explain a little bit about them, they come as quite a balanced crew. The theme behind them is that actually they're a band group of singers. And actually we want to try and echo that by bringing that style or that underpinning theme to the abilities that they have in the game. So we're going to go through these now for you and explain just how they work so that you can play them yourselves. First up we have the host, which is Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal is a fallen angel. And as you can see here, she has 4 abilities. Those abilities on the back show her that she has 4 different types of style attack. She has a shield that can protect herself. She has some magical spells that she can use at range. She has a snare that stops people from being able to move and stopping them from using their action points, as well as being able to bring people back from the dead, which is really handy in objective-based scenarios, especially when we need to pick up the soul counters. Next up we have Barry. Each faction has to have a host and an apostle, and Barry is that apostle. Again, he has 4 abilities, just like the host and the prophet does. Barry's a bit different. He has the first style of combat attack to this faction, as we have ranged as well as close combat. He has chicken drumsticks at the top, which allows him to inflict strength 4 attacks in combat. He's able to regenerate wounds as well, which makes him really quite tough to take down unless you have multiple characters doing so. He has Lullaby that stops people from able to use action points, and a very short range attack just to keep people at bay. In absolute opposite to that, we next have Stevie. Stevie is a bit of a ranged monster. He and his piano can fire different types of shots from range. Again, he has 4 abilities. The first one is it enables you or other characters within your cohort to lock onto models, which makes them easier to hit. He has 2 different types, as I alluded to a moment ago, from the Steinbach 3000. One is just a low strength attack. The other one uses all of his action points, which can deliver some really punchy attacks at strength 7. He also has an ability at the bottom there that allows him to kind of fend off close combat attacks, as he's usually quite susceptible. Though he does have a high defence, because you've got to get past the piano after all. Each faction also has a minion, like a little bit of a pet or a familiar that follows them around. These cool looking cats with their glasses and their ties are the ones that come with the Soul Train. These guys are quite fast. They're used for objectives, and they're actually very good at getting around the board very quickly to support models that might be in trouble. They only have 2 abilities to choose from though, but don't be fooled by them. One of which again is a bit of crowd control to stop models from being able to use action points or abilities. But also they have the ability to run past models and interact with them in combat without being caught in the melee. This is quite punchy as well, because actually when they scratch people on the way past, they have the opportunity to give them rabies, which is their detrimental effect and can reduce defence over time, making them much easier and more susceptible to other incoming attacks from your own crew. Then we have Mike. Mike's a little bit similar to Barry, though he does dish out the highest strength attacks in this faction. On the back he has 2 abilities again, one which is the strength attacks I talked about in the melee at strength 5, but he also has What a Show. And that makes people take FF tests, a bit of crowd control. Stops people from getting too close or actually controlling the number of people that are nearby. Then we have Ebony, who's a bit more like Stevie, though she's much more mobile. If you'd have noticed, Stevie had a movement 1, which means she's not moving very far. Ebony's very fast. She can get around the board very quickly, and she's really useful as she has a high dexterity and a decent save. What's important about Ebony though is that he has 2 different types of attacks. Ones that ignore armour and ones that ignore dexterity, which means actually if you come across the right kind of person, you can actually take some wounds off pretty quickly. Again, she has the roller disco attack, which allows her to get around the attack very quickly, whilst also dealing damage while she does so. Last up we have Keisha. She's a bit of a hybrid. She has some ranged attack, which gives her a little bit of ability support, but once again she's crowd control. She can pull people across the board and manipulate them, stopping them from using action points. She's a hybrid, so she has 3 abilities that she can use in each game turn, and you get the chance to choose. This sums up the Soul Train, and brings us very closely to a close, as we will be bringing more and more information out over the coming days. Next up we'll be talking about the stats, and after that Murder Inc. So feel free to watch and join us back again. Goodbye.